Hey, it's Mia J, and I'm back. It's the end of the weekend. I already have my makeup on, and I figured that's a good opportunity to talk to you guys finally about Avengers Age of Ultron, because at this point we've probably all seen it, and we would probably all have our opinions about it. I've got a hot cup of tea and my little Loki with me here so we can discuss this movie together. And it is one heck of a movie. I don't even know where to start. Take this opportunity to pour yourself a hot cup of tea if you'd like to join me on this chat. Where do we begin? The first thing that people might think of when they start thinking about Avengers Age of Ultron is the fact that there are so many superheroes in the movie. I mean, besides like the main cast, Iron Man, Black Widow, Thor, Hawkeye, Hulk, Captain America, those are probably the main people. You get the addition of Wanda and Pietro, the crazy twins, and then you get people from all the other movies like Don Cheadle, whoever he plays, and Anthony Mackie. I'm just naming their names now. And all of a sudden Nick Fury, who's not, I guess he's kind of a superhero, but we get all of these people, and I can see how that's very problematic in a movie because you're trying to keep up with all these characters, number one, try to give them so much screen time, number two, and then make sure that you give them enough background information, number three. I mean, these people have already had their movies to begin with, so it's like, well, it's whatever, but also, I don't know, for me it was like, okay, this is one big reunion, and I didn't really mind it that much because I love each and every one of them individually. So for me it wasn't a problem. I was just like, hey, the gang's all back, I don't care. And also the Vision, you also have to add him in and his like sort of backstory to the melting pot of superheroes. Right. This is so hot, I don't even want to drink it anymore. Hawkeye was another, I guess he's not an addition, but they decided to play on Hawkeye for a very, very long time. I personally am not a Hawkeye fan. I like Jeremy Renner, he seems like a cool guy, but I am not a Hawkeye fan, maybe because in the first Avengers, Joss Whedon sort of underplayed his character to begin with, and Jeremy Renner was probably like, well, that sucked because now, you know, nobody cares about me, which is true for me. But also now it seemed like they were like, well, hey, now you can have all the Hawkeye that you want. You want to know where he lives? Cool. You want to know about his family? Cool. His kids? Cool. And I was like, well, I know, I guess this is a send-off for him because he doesn't want to do Avengers anymore, I'm pretty sure. But also it was just like, I don't really care. I mean, the kids are cute and the family is nice, but I feel like his character didn't really warrant all that setup to begin with. And I'm sorry. But I mean, that's the end of his character, I suppose. I guess he's not coming back to that. There was also a really weird moment when they were at Hawkeye's house, and it was Bruce and Natasha, and they were talking about families. Because this is a romantic comedy. I'm like, I was sitting there like, why do I care that Natasha is sterile and Bruce Banner? Like, number one, those aren't things that you want to think about when you're looking at a superhero movie to begin with. You want to see action and fighting and clamor and chaos, and they're talking about, you know, going to the fertility clinic. And like also being the point that Natasha is such a kick-butt character, and you sort of reduce her to being like this, oh, I'm a helpless romantic and stuff like this. I discussed this with my other friends, but it's sort of like, it's like Joss Whedon sort of took everything that was Black Widow from like the Russo brothers, Cap 2, which was a fantastic movie, way more fantastic than this, I would have to say. And then they just sort of reduced her to like the, oh my god, I love Bruce so much, this is high school romance. Not so much. Okay. Ooh, the tea is hot today. I didn't say that. I'm trying to do a no cut. But what else got me about the movie? I guess also killing off Pietro or Quicksilver was a little, I feel like dumb is the first word that comes to mind, just because they introduced him and you got like really into him, and kind of Wanda, I didn't really, her power was sort of like, oh, I feel like that's not fair because she's playing mind games on them. I guess no superpower is fair, especially like the Vision. right? Or Ultron. Either one. I thought to bring in Quicksilver and then to kill him and give him that crappy one-liner at the end. I was like, I'm so emotionally invested with him. At least just a little. I was a little emotionally invested in him because, I mean, okay, he's only been part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe now for about 2 hours, and now he's dead, which I'm like, okay, I guess that's a backstory for Wanda when she becomes, you know, the Scarlet Witch in the Avengers. But also, it's just sort of like, well, I probably could have just left Quicksilver out of the movie altogether. I mean, I was sad. I wanted him to go on. People thought Hawkeye was gonna die, and I was like, okay. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't want Hawkeye to die because he has a family. But yeah, I was just sort of like, okay, he's dead. That sucks. On to the next topic, which I will address the one-liners because this movie was a script of. Sorry, my camera ran out of memory, and I also may have flipped the camera around if I look different. Anyway, take this opportunity to leave a comment if you totally disagree with everything that I'm saying and you thought the movie was totally awesome. I thought the movie was awesome, but not totally awesome. Back to the conversation. The one-liners, yeah, I'll keep it short because they kept it short. And it was sort of just like they wanted every line to be a memorable line. And it was like, okay, let's have some dialogue, let's have some plot, because I know that the whole point of these phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is to build up every Infinity Gem or stone so that, what's his name? Thanos can go and wreak havoc and do whatever else. I don't really read the comics, so I only know as far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe takes me. And so, yeah, between like the dialogue and the plot, it just seemed like this was just a time filler. And I can only imagine what Ant-Man will be, but I don't hold Ant-Man up to such high standards because number one, it's Paul Rudd, and Paul Rudd is a comedian. And number two, it's my timer. And number two, I mean, it's Ant-Man. They did the same thing with Iron Man to try to build him up, but I don't think it'll be as, I don't know. Ant-Man is something totally different, and that's not what I'm talking about. And then I feel like that's all I had to say about Avengers Age of Ultron. It just sort of seemed like it didn't live up to the last movie, and I felt Ultron could have been a little better as a villain. He was very witty and humorous, but I feel like the movie also could have been a little bit darker. He could have been a little darker, and the tone of the movie could have been different because that is what I was expecting. And the end was to have a very sort of Stark, not Tony Stark, Stark sort of tone to the movie, and that didn't really happen either. I don't know, it was just like I waited 3 years for this, and it just wasn't there. I don't know. So leave a comment if you agree or disagree. I'm taking my feet up. What is this? If you agree or disagree with what I had to say about the movie, about the Hulk and Natasha Romanoff relationship, too many Avengers in one screen, the plot, the dialogue, no Loki, because he cut that out. That probably would have made my day. Nah, I don't know. I probably would have thought that was a little too overstuffed too if Loki was in the movie. So that might be the only decision that I agree with. Yeah, so let me know. Leave a comment below in Facebook or YouTube, where I check pretty much everywhere. I love to hear back from you guys because it's so fun. And also, I'm pretty sure all of you have seen it, but if you haven't seen it, check out my video from months ago where I was actually excited for Age of Ultron, where I did a cute little sketch about the reaction to the trailer that we all saw so many months ago. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed our chat. Thank you for staying this long if you made it, and if you like this video, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. It's good for your soul, and I'll see you next time. Say bye, Loki.